Alright, pet spotlight for today will be the Unborn Val. Where should I start with this guy? Unborn Val is a tier 1 pet, and he always will be as long as he has Haunt. Basically, any pet with Haunt is a tier 1 pet. So, the Ghastly Kid is also a tier 1 pet, just because he has Haunt. His other abilities are pretty good too, but I'm not talking about the Ghastly Kid today, I'm talking about the Unborn Val. Or my Ophelia. How do you get the Unborn Val? Well, he's a rare spawn in a whole bunch of different places in Northrend. I'll look for the photo and paste it to the right of the screen, you'll see that. Basically, the best way to get it is just to fly to all of the spawn points and just see if he's there. And if not, just camp it out. Both breeds are fine. The HH breed has a crap ton of health. The power breed, the balance breed, which is usually the worst breed in the game, is fine too, because he does have a pretty decent amount of health. Attack power, so your haunts will hit harder. I'm using the balance just because I couldn't find an HH breed, but it doesn't really matter. He lasts forever no matter which breed you use. Usually I would say go with the pure breed, but since the pure breed is an HH and he already lasts forever anyway, it really does not matter. And the reason he's so good is because of his moveset. Basically, his first two movesets, you can use whatever you want. Usually, if you see an Unborn Val, they're going to have Shadow Shock and Curse of Doom in their first two slots. But you could use Siphon Life too if you want. Curse of Doom, I think, is a little bit better. And Shadow Shock, well, Shadow Shock has the possibility of hitting harder than Shadow Slash, but they're both basic attacks, which either hit for a tiny bit of damage or a lot of damage. Shadow Lash, it has a smaller window of opportunity, so if you hit on the small end, it hits for a little bit more than if you hit on the small end of Shadow Shock, but Shadow Shock hits harder on the hard end than Shadow Slash, so most players will use Shadow Shock, just because it has the potential to hit really hard. And then Haunt, there's no reason to use Unholy Ascension outside of using him for the Hal Bomb, because he's also really good for PvE. Unborn Valks are just a super solid pet to have if you're wanting to use something for PvE and PvP. But Haunt, okay, let me tell you all of the great things about Haunt. Haunt is the hardest hitting dot in the game. Unbuffed, it hits for 156 damage every turn for 4 turns. That's 2 basic attacks worth of damage. And it gives you a free switch since it counts the target as dead. A free switch is pretty big in PvP, so it allows you to switch into, well, this team I have him on right now is probably the best team you can use him on, just because it has lots of switches and they both heal up really well in the back row and really benefit from free switches more than most pets would. And yeah, it's kind of hard to explain just how good a free switch is, so just trust me on that. A free switch in PvP is great, and it counts the user as dead. If he's dead, that means he can't be hit by AoEs in the back row. And AoE teams are pretty good right now in PvP, so just straight up not taking damage from him in the back row because he's counted as dead is amazing. And since he's counted as dead, consume abilities. Consume. Here, let me go all the way. There it is. Consume Corpse. Here, let me put them up here so you can actually see it. Consume Corpse abilities, where you consume an ally corpse to restore 50% of your total health. 50% of your total health is a crap ton of a heal. Since he's counted as dead, you can use Consume Corpse on him, even though he'll come back to life after 4 turns when Haunt's over. And the cool thing about Haunt is that when you're considered dead, it considers you like a new dead pet every time you use it. So every time you use Haunt and die, you can use Consume Corpse on it, because usually you can't use it on the same ally twice, but you can if it's an Unborn Val using Haunt. So if you use Haunt and then switch into this guy and then use Consume Corpse, and then let's say they die and Haunt comes up early, and you switch back into your Unborn Val and use Haunt again, and then switch back into your Blighthawk, you can use Consume Corpse on the same corpse again, since it's considered like a new corpse for some reason, which really should be fixed, but that's how it works right now, and it's really strong if you want to use a Consume Corpse, because there's a couple of really good pets that use Consume Corpse, like the Blighthawk and the Weebomination. 2 really popular pets in PvP, and they both have a Consume Corpse as an option as an available option of something they can use with still being good while using their other abilities. Okay, so the basic rotation for this guy is to use Curse of Doom and then Haunt. And you get the free switch and you go into one of your other pets and you do your stuff. And then once Haunt's off cooldown, because it does have a 4-round cooldown, which doesn't start until Haunt's over. So if the full 4 turns of Haunt goes off, you have to wait basically 8 turns before you can use it again, because you got the 4 turns of the Haunt plus the 4 rounds of its cooldown, which is great because it used to have no cooldown and it was way stronger than it is now. But even with the 4-round cooldown, it's still pretty damn strong. Plus, since the Unborn Val's a undead pet, that's just really good, because undead has like the best racial in the game right now. No other pet has a better racial than undead's. You come back to life for immunity for a turn. That's really strong. And it used to be you could use Haunt during your turn of immunity, but you can't anymore. If you use Haunt while you're dead in your turn of immunity, it'll just miss, which is great, because now you can't throw out the strongest dot in the game anymore when you're about to die. Okay, so I think that's it for the Unborn Val. There's not much more to talk about. Haunt is just a really damn good ability. Curse of Doom, it's a neat dot that works very well with Haunt, because Curse of Doom will basically go off once Haunt is over. So lots of dot damage potential. And if you're able to switch out your opponent's pets so they take all that dot damage in the back row, even better. That's why the Fiendish Imp combo with him, you'll see a lot. Usually if you see an Unborn Val and they have a Fiendish Imp, you're going to have a bad time, because they're basically going to dot you up, go into the Fiendish Imp, switch you out in the back row, that way you take the dot damage in the back row while they deal with a different pet. It's a ridiculously strong combo, so basically be very wary of this team, because it will ruin your day. Or if you want to use this team, you'll win a lot of matches.